Welcome to Podcapers, the official podcast for a place to hang your cape. And this week, this is not the pick-me-up I need right now. Oh, it's tradition. Cue the music! Time for some Disney bashing. It's been
God, not again.
a whole year,
God, not again.
and this time I will tear apart their fucking
God, not again.
awful remakes.
God, not again.
Fuck. It's a trend they won't buck. But now they
God,
are out
not
of
again.
luck.
God, not again.
Of luck. The fourth dirty Disney dozen is finally here. So say an amen for their damn remakes that are so bad. They make me angry. Disney does it. The fourth dirty Disney dozen is finally here. So say an amen for their damn remakes that are so bad. They make me angry. Disney doesn't. Disney doesn't.
God, not again. God, not again.
Fuck. It's a trend they won't buck. But now they're out of luck.
The fourth dirty Disney dozen is finally here. So say an amen for their damn remakes that are so bad. They make me angry. Disney doesn't. The 4:30 Disney doesn't is finally here. So say an amen for their damn remakes that are so bad. They make me angry. Disney doesn't.
Disney doesn't. Disney doesn't. Hello there, Capers, and welcome to Pod Capers, the official podcast for a place to hang your cape. My name is Scott James Merridew, and this is the show where we talk about various geek and nerd-related topics, and are joined each week by a very special different guest. Returning once again, as it's tradition on the Dirty Disney Dozen episodes on this show, it's Alex Mirabal and Mark Russell.
Hi.
Woo!
Now, as I'm sure many capers around the world are aware, there's a bit of a quarantine-reno going on right now due to, that thing that causes all the deaths. How are you guys coping?
I haven't got mad yet.
Existing.
You haven't got mad yet and you're existing. That's basically where I'm at right now. And
I don't leave the house anyway, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah, I've trained for years for this. Finally, my years of self-isolation are coming into practice in a productive way. I'm saving lives by being a socially repugnant troll goblin.
Woo!
Oh, God. But we're not here to talk about that. I just wanted to check in with you guys, make sure that you are okay, because I've made a few jokes about coronavirus on this show in the past, but you know what? It's not really that funny anymore now, is it?
Depressing.
No.
No, it's not. It is quite depressing. At time of recording, the amount of deaths in the UK has reached over 10,000, and it's only going to go up. And so I just hope wherever you are, Capers, you're staying safe, you're staying healthy, and you're not taking risks to your own health or anyone else's. Because those are the stakes. I know that our listeners are smart. I know that because, they're listening to us. Clearly, you guys are the cream of the crop. But there are some stupid people out there who think, oh, it'll be fine, and it won't be fine. It won't be fine. So be safe, be smart, take care of each other, and don't go mad. Me, for example, I have techniques that I use to cope with the isolation, various streaming services, not that one. And, of course, a cup of Earl Grey tea with a small slice of lemon. It burns my tongue. But yeah, on that streaming service, I mean, if I didn't know better, and I'm not saying I do, I'd almost suspect Disney had a hand in COVID-19 coming out when it did, because now everyone's staying at home watching Disney+.
Yeah.
Including, I am ashamed to say, my sweet darling little sister.
Good. She will be indoctrinated soon enough.
She's past the point of indoctrination. She's been like that for years. I'm the weird one. I'm the one who my family who says don't watch Disney, and everyone ignores me. I've been able to convince my parents not to do it because, frankly, they have other priorities, and there's not that much they really care to watch on Disney Plus anyway. But God, everyone's watching Disney Plus, and I don't care if The Mandalorian is on it, and I do love The Mandalorian. Mandalorian is amazing. Love it. But it's just, oh God, fucking Disney. So now's as good a time as any, seeing as Disney Plus is now up and running for everyone. I remember that launch. That we talk about the traditional Dirty Disney Dozen. This is the special episode we have once a year where we talk about the baker's dozen of the very worst that Disney has to offer. Now, we were going to do this during our Disney-themed month in March, but technical difficulties and other factors meant that we couldn't do that at the time, so we're doing it now in April. Oh no, however will we all cope? So, strap in, Capers, as we talk about the Disney live-action remakes. Yeah, the Disney films that not even Disney fans can bring themselves to actively like. Yes, there's a few apologists out there, but for the most part, people agree that these films are shit. All those in agreement say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Yep. Oh God, is this what it feels like? To have people agree with you for the first fucking time in forever?
I mean, I guess.
I'm saying
I'm a DC fan, so.
Yeah, you've got your own problems, Alex. This is my burden to bear. So that's what we're going to do, Keepers. We're going to go through 13 of the very worst Disney live-action remakes in no particular order, because I did think about organizing these in order of how much they fucking piss me off. But you know what? They all piss me off for different reasons. It's impossible to quantify. So we're just going to go through them in completely random order. So let's start with everyone's favorite Tim Burton movie, Alice in Wonderland. Thoughts?
Oh, God.
I liked it when it came out.
I saw it for my
Why?
birthday in middle school.
Why?
Because I was in middle school and I was like edgy and cool and like.
So you went to see Alice in Wonderland?
I guess Tim
Yeah.
Burton counts as edgy.
Yes.
When he's
what?
doing this,
Yes.
he doesn't.
And Tim Burton is like the epitome of like easy edge.
Oh, yeah, he's gateway edge. He's introductory edge. He's baby's
Yeah.
edge.
Exactly.
And that's fine. I like Tim Burton, you know, when he's not off his nut on, like, oh my god, the darkness, and it's all weird and ooh, and I love marching people. I love the marching people. Like when he's not doing that shit, Mars attacks and shit, I actually do really like him. I like his creepy stuff. I like his less creepy stuff. People forget with Tim Burton that he's a good actor, a good director. He has to continually remind us, hey, you know, I'm actually really talented, right? And we're like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that with, you know, Mars Attacks and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Every once in a while he pumps out a Sweeney Todd and you're like, oh shit, huh, maybe you are okay.
And even then, even that was kind of creepy. Like, oh, yeah, it's just my usual, you know, slaver Johnny Depp in white makeup and give him really dark eyes. Like,
yeah, but Sweeney Todd is one of like the best like adaptations of a Broadway musical. Like, is really good.
I tell the tale of Sweeney Todd. Yeah, I do like that movie, but here's the thing. Then he makes a movie like Big Eyes, and it's just like, oh, it's naturalistic. It's kind of down to earth to a certain point, but it's a really intriguing story with really intriguing characters that is directed in a really intriguing way. And it's like, oh my god, this guy can actually do something really interesting. And then he gives us Alice in Wonderland! And, oh my god, there's so much wrong with this fucking movie. So, like, I'm fine with him giving Wonderland a creepy aesthetic, except, who's that other guy? Who's that other guy who did that? What's his name? It's like
American McGee.
That's it, American McGee, whatever his name is. And it's like, he Tim Burtoned Alice in Wonderland before Tim Burton. So there really was no point to Tim Burton doing it.
So like 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah, he did
10 years before the film came out.
Was it 10 years?
Video games are so damn good.
Yeah, they really are.
Oh, they're
I haven't
amazing.
played them, but I've heard great things. And well, there you go then. So there really was no point. Like, if you want to do a live-action remake or a different interpretation of Alice in Wonderland, personally, I go with the version that had Whoopi Goldberg in and
Martin.
What's his name?
Martin Short's in it.
Brain work.
in it. Gene Wilder's in it.
Gene Wilder, that was him playing the Mock Turtle. I love that guy. So beautiful soup. Like, I love that version. It's like, so like, here's the Alice in Wonderland. It's been done a million times before. It'll be done a million times again. That's fine, and I'm fine with a new person and Disney coming on and putting their own spin on it. But if you're gonna do a creepy version, too late. You missed your shot by 10 years. Add into that the fact that even if you want to do a creepy version of Wonderland, it's not even that creepy. Yeah, but that felt weird creepy. Like, it didn't even fit creepy within a creepy Alice in Wonderland. Like, I can't see that happening. Maybe it did happen. I don't know. In American
an adult man's obsession with a 6-year-old girl who isn't related to him in any way is a little bit sus.
Are you talking about like the original Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Carol has a little, yeah, but, yeah, it's weird and creepy to begin with, yeah, but there's different kinds of weird and creepy, and the fact, and it's really annoying because some of the acting choices are just bizarre. Everyone's like super serious in Wonderland. Everyone's super serious, and Mia was in that Mark Ruffalo movie, you know, her. Great actor.
Mhm.
I've seen her a bunch of stuff. I saw the trailer recently for this movie called Punch and Judy. She's in that. She looks fucking amazing in that. That looks really cool and really interesting. Here,
Really good
she
at
just
Crimson
like,
Peak.
Oh, Crimson Peak, I haven't seen, but I've heard amazing things about it because, you know, me and horror, a bit dubious. But, you know, Guillermo del Toro, I'm going to have to watch it eventually. But here, in this fucking movie, she decides that the best acting choice she can make, or the best direction she was given by Tim Burton was, okay, I want you to do the faintest British accent you can do, all while not blinking, staring straight ahead, and acting as bored and disinterested as possible throughout. If you even inject so much as a thimbleful of emotion into a single line, you're fired. And it's just, oh my god, fucking, I'm not the biggest fan of the original animated Disney Alice in Wonderland, although I will respect it to a certain degree. But you know what? Alice in that movie got annoyed, sad, laughed, you know, projected a full range of human emotion so we could, you know, we the audience could connect with her. She'd be our one sane focal point in a world of madness. And here is a woman who's just like, oh look, it's a man with a giant hat and giant bunny rabbits wearing clothes and, you know, giant fucking Christopher Lee dragon. Oh, wow, what an amazing thing. Not really, I'm bored. Oh, is it time for my Quaaludes again? Who would think this was good? Did no one in this production say, maybe she should try and, you know, emotionally engage with the audience? Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Who the fuck even are you? Nah.
Who was Josh Trank secretly the director in it?
Even in Van Forstick, the actors emoted. You can tell that's just because they were desperately trying to preserve some shred of credibility in their careers. But here, no. In this movie, they thought that was a great one. And she's the only one who does it. Everyone else acts around. I think the characterization of all the other characters is stupid. But everyone acts. Everyone is definitely emoting. And I don't care about them either, but, you know, at least I would have a reason to. Why should I fucking care about someone who clearly does not care about anything, or can't even show that? God, this is basic. I'm not saying she has to be fucking a rainbow sparkle explosion of emotion. She can be subtle, but when you look like you don't give a crap for a fucking hour and a half runtime, why should I give a crap?
Exactly.
Anyway, that's Alice in Wonderland. Any additional thoughts?
Yeah, the magic toilet paper prophecy ticks me off.
Oh, well, any story of a prophecy that doesn't explain where the prophecy came from.
Yeah, no, this
there's a good-ass Avril Lavigne song.
Oh, good.
What?
Right, there's a really good Avril Lavigne song.
In the movie?
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called, but it's really good. It's like her last really good song. And then she disappeared for forever.
He was a Mad Hatter. I said something splatter.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Anyway, if
you were talking about prophecies.
I don't know. There's a pink one in the second one.
Anyway, you and I don't like prophecies at all in any sense of the word. This one annoys me to hell. Because they have this magic calendar that says, oh, by the way, it details every single event that can happen on every day of the week, every day of the year. I was like, okay, so you should have known that the Queen of Hearts and the were going to attack and kill everyone. Why didn't you do anything about it? It's like, oh no, we just wait till Alice comes up and she can save everyone. It's like, go to hell.
One would presume they didn't have access to this prophecy tapestry toilet paper.
They did. They did. Alan Rickman had it. He had it in his hands. Like, here's the magic toilet paper thingamajiggy. It tells of each and every day since the beginning. So how come you didn't tell anyone that the Queen of Hearts was going to take over Wonderland? with the Jabberwock. You could have just done that.
They
Like,
do
no,
act
Foxy says
annoyingly
this, no,
surprised that it happened when they clearly should have known. It's all stupid. It's all so stupid. They don't even call it Wonderland. They call it Underland.
It's Wonderland.
Yeah,
not
they
Underland.
try to do the
Wonderland, but
thing
it's
of
called Wonderland.
like, oh, this is something a little girl would like try to like. This is how she would rationalize it, and that's why it's this, and that's why it's like just let it be what it was. Like,
Yeah.
a little girl is gonna do what she wants. Like,
And little girls aren't stupid. If someone tells her this place is called Underland, she's not going to go, I'm going to call it Wonderland. But that's not what I said. I said it was Underland. Wonderland. Underland. Wonderland. Okay, fine. You couldn't call it Wonderland. Fuck. How old are you? Like 12? 10? Like, you should have the cognitive abilities to have name, place, permanence. Fucking hell, Alice. You're weird. And I'm a fucking Mad March hare. If I say it, it's true. Anyway, fucking hell, moving on. We're in 1. We're at number 1, and I'm already so angry. Okay, all right. Let's move on now to Cinderella.
Oh,
oh yeah.
So, right. So, let's talk about the Cinderella as a character.
Why can't we just talk about Into the Woods?
That's another rabbit hole one day we'll go down on. Oh boy! But no, one
agony.
I can't remember that song. Can I remember any of the songs from Into the Woods?
I was in it. I can do it. I can do the entire musical.
Were you in it on the West End?
No. Were you?
I think you'll find I was in Les Mis in school.
Sure. Oh yeah. No, I wasn't in high school. I was Snow White.
They remade that film, yeah.
Well, there you go then.
I was Snow White, and I'm not white. It was great.
It's a metaphor, Alex. It's a metaphor for her purity and not at all anything to do with race. Rewrite Disney history. Anyway. One fucking film at a time. Cinderella. The biggest problem in Cinderella is by far away, in a shadow of doubt, Cinderella herself.
Yeah.
You know why?
Because she's lost all of her integrity as a character. How much to begin with?
That and... Well, I'd say that's a very intellectual way of putting it. My way of putting it is that she gives a bad name to blankets that have been soaked through with water.
Ouch.
She's the world's biggest fucking wet blanket. Oh, God. So, people have decried the original, and when I say the original, I mean the Disney version, Cinderella, as not a great example of... feminist characteristics. And characteristics, that's a word. And there is some truth to that, but more too frequently, that devolves into victim blaming, which is 100% asshole behavior all the time.
Yep.
We don't do that. Don't care what it is, we don't victim blame. But she did have, and because of that, out of that let's not victim blame, some people have noted that she does have some amount of strength as a character. Some. Let's not go crazy. Okay, she's not exactly Hedda Gabler here, but there's some strength to her fortitude as a character. All of which was surgically removed in the transition to live action. Oh god, so it's just so. Do you know what the problem is? It's too nice. There's nothing wrong with nice. There is something wrong with too nice. You can't be too nice. And just this whole movie is just about her quest to, I'm going to be nice no matter what. Okay, you know that's not the same as being a fucking doormat, right? Just letting people run all over you. No. It means I need to be nice to everyone. God, fucking stand up for yourself, woman. I don't blaming you, but you're kind of accepting the position of victim here, and you really shouldn't. The original didn't. Fucking hell. And, oh, God. And so... I like how they try and develop it, especially with the other characters. They try and develop the characters, but the problem is they didn't do it enough. They didn't do it fucking enough, and so they give a reason why she stays in the house, being treated like a servant in this version, even though she's allowed to leave. She's not actually kept prisoner. She can go to market and whatever and hang out with friends and stuff. She just, but anyway, that separate one thing at a time. And so she says to one of these friends, like, "Oh, I could never leave that house because my father loved it so much." Okay, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want you to stay if it meant you being, emotionally abused. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want that. Like, that's just a fucking piece of real estate. You're his baby girl. Come on, man. Think. And two, and this is really the big takeaway here, the climax of the movie after she meets fucking Rob Stark. Fuck. And... after she meets Rob Stark, and, they're like, "Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you too. Oh, my dad's dead. Oh, mine too." That's a basis for a relationship. She fucking leaves the house. She turns up to give her, evil stepmother a bit of shade, and then she walks out and just like, okay, so clearly you didn't love the house too much the second a big rich man came along to offer you a better place to live. Now, isn't it? Fucking hell. Your one motivation for staying in the place, and apparently it just doesn't matter. I guess, much like the writers of Game of Thrones, the writers of this movie forgot something important right at the end. And, oh God.
She forgave Kate Blanchett.
Sorry?
Because she's that nice, she forgave Kate Blanchett on the way out. So, okay, you treat me
I
like
forgive
garbage.
you for reducing...
You treat me like garbage all these years, so cheerio. I forgive you, bye.
Yeah, I
should have pecked out her eyes.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that have been interesting? But, no, I mean, oh, God, and... it's just... and the annoying thing is, who gets actually some pretty good development in the movie? The Prince. Well, I'm not going to fucking remember his name. I'm just going to refer to him as Rob Stark. But, yeah.
He doesn't have a name in the original.
He didn't have a name in the original, which still pisses me off. Charming is not a name! No! I can see some of you hipsters who are just about to get
It is
pregnant.
if you're a tiefling.
Okay, yes, in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, Charming can be a tiefling.
Hold on, I need to be taking some notes. Hold on. I need to make a tiefling paladin.
No.
Charming.
And his powers are shoe-based, I don't know. But in the movie, he actually does get some character development. New responsibilities, his father dying, and there's clearly something there. They just didn't give it to... And poor Lily James. She's a great actor, but...
She definitely is.
Sorry?
She definitely is in Mamma Mia too. Here we go again.
You made the bold assumption I'd bother to see that movie.
Yeah, if you like torture.
No!
Best movie of 2018. I think it was 2018. Was it 17?
You want to talk about torture? I was forced by my sister on a long car journey to watch the first Mamma Mia movie fucking twice in a row.
That's not torture. That is a gift.
You know what it is? It's agony.
It's a gift.
Exactly. That's what Pierce Brosnan trying to sing.
Oh, yeah. One bad movie at a time, and so, oh God, and people give this movie a pass because they say it looks good. Yeah, it looks good. They all fucking look good to varying degrees, but. Actually, yeah, saying that, Alice in Wonderland doesn't look like... Okay, so it looks good, and it's well directed, because Kenneth Branagh is a very good director, but that doesn't make up for how shallow... Well, partially shallow it is, and it's annoying. It's one of the many reasons why I'm annoyed at Disney as a whole, encapsulated. They can do good stuff, occasionally they do good stuff, but they don't take it all the way, because they purposefully leave certain things bland, unappealing, and sometimes very problematic... purely because they know that that's what sells and that's what people want. And they continue that with this movie. I'm not saying you need to completely reinvent the character and make Cinderella a badass mercenary fighting for justice with a sharpened stiletto throwing knives, but...
They did that in Fables.
Well, you could do that in Fables, and I'm not saying you need to do that here with Disney, but fucking hell, you can't make a character... have one personality trait, and that personality trait is a desire to be as nice, bland, and inoffensive as possible, because that is boring and makes me think that maybe she needs medical help. God. Anyway, so that's that movie. I'm just breezing through these. I don't have the strength. Fucking Jungle Book.
I like this one.
I did not see that one.
You haven't seen this one, and you like that one. Okay. Right. So, first of all, I think a lot of us thought that this movie was going to be more like the original Rudyard Kipling book, this sort of philosophical series of morality tales within the Indian jungle, and, you know, commenting on the nature of what it means to be human and society and stuff like that. And much like with Cinderella, it kind of did that, but no.
But no.
No. Oh, God. So, it includes...
The way I see it...
Sorry?
The way I see it is that they were trying to... At some point, they went, okay, well, let's make this more like the books. Let's make this a little bit darker and more adult. Like, no, we've got to make it like the original so people remember it because nostalgia sells. Like, okay, let's go back a minute.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If they had said, okay, we're just going to make it like an original, that at least I could understand. I wouldn't agree with that. I want it to be more like the book, but it's not about what I want. It's about what works. But it's the half and half thing that makes it not work. And, God.
To peel back the curtain here, did either of you look up the thing that you were fighting over the last time we talked about this? About whether or not Mowgli said he wanted to go back to the people village?
Oh yeah, he didn't want to go back to Man Village. He wanted to go to Man Village.
Did neither of you actually like rewatch the movie to see if he did that?
Because I sure as shit back up from the original. I'm good. Like, I know what I'm talking about.
I did. He didn't. I did. In neither movie, neither did he want to go to the Man Village willingly. Stop laughing.
I'm laughing because neither of you decided to go back to see if you're right.
So you want me to go through this torture again?
Right. We had all this time. We had like a whole month for you to go back and see if either of you were right to take it back, and neither of you did.
Well, let's just do what we normally do on Poll Capers and assume rightly that I am in fact right. So there we go.
You're
moving
not.
on. I'm pretty sure I am. Let's be honest. It's me. It's Disney. I'm usually right.
Incorrect.
Anyway, there's so much to this movie that's more interesting to talk about. Like, I mean, going back to what I was saying, like, this movie really is just a Frankenstein movie. It permeates everything. Everything. From the characters, to the plot, to the fucking dialogue. Some of the dialogue feels like it's lifted straight out of the book. Some of the dialogue feels like it's lifted straight out of the original movie. And some of the dialogue feels like it was just made up on the fly by an intern who was told, "You there, write some dialogue." I don't know any dialogue. Just make it some up. Go now or you're fired. There, it's a bit about a porcupine liking rocks. This should be in our $1 million budget movie. Multi-million dollar, whatever. It's just... And, oh, God, it's just like... Pick one. Either you wanted to be a stupid modern day version, either you wanted to be something that was like the book, or you wanted to be just like the original movie. Just pick one. Just fucking pick one, you goddamn lunatics!
Well, there's always the 1994 version, which I've never watched.
And there's always the one made by the Soviets.
What?
What?
Apparently, am I getting this right? I think there was...
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to pause and we're going to look this up. Because I'm fairly certain there was a Jungle Book movie made in the USSR.
That's... okay.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm just going to... Quick Google search. Yes. Fucking yes. That's right. 1970... 1973... so what I'm talking about, it's called The Adventures of Mowgli. It was originally 5 animated shorts, about 20 minutes runtime, that was aired between 1967 and 1961 in the Soviet Union until they were compiled in 1973 as a feature-length film.
Huh.
Okay.
Like, that's the thing that happened.
Okay.
And Charlton Heston narrated the English version.
Of course he did.
Interesting.
Yeah, so... there was, like, a dubbed American version, so... I don't know. I haven't seen it. I want to make that clear, but I knew it existed. I knew that one existed. I knew the the famous animator whose name fucking escapes me, did The Grinch, did Roadrunner, Chuck Jones. No.
Yay, Chuck Jones.
Chuck Jones, the Chuck Jones version. And this is a thing that has been done multiple times before. It's been done multiple times since. Warner Brothers has since released their own version that no one gives a shit about.
Ugh,
Yeah, there was
horrible.
like a live action one.
It was another live action one that also made Cara a woman. I don't know. I don't know why they made her a woman in this version. I don't know why she was only in the movie for about 5 seconds and then just went. Like fucking exposition. Yeah, she was literally just there to tell us Mowgli's backstory that never came into play at any point during the movie, and it had no ramifications except for the revelation that Mowgli's dad was the one who gave Shere Khan a messed up face. Ooh, wow. Don't give a shit. Like, that's it. And I'm fairly sure Car's hypnosis, whatever it is, never worked like that, either in the original or in the book. Like, I don't get it. And then she's gone for the rest of the movie until she pops up in the credits to do a creepy version of Trust in Me. Not that the original version wasn't creepy enough.
Cool.
Guys. And so, it feels like this movie just had stuff thrown in it. Just like, throw something at the wall, and sees what sticks. And it's just like, no, you can't make a movie like that. Jon Favreau, you should know better. Because Jon Favreau, again, fucking brilliant director. I really like his stuff. And God, he's better than this. He's so much better than this. Everyone's got weird motivations. I don't have a clue what's going on. And sometimes it's a musical, sometimes it's not. Like, not even the bits where there is no songs. Like, sometimes the songs are diegetic, sometimes the songs are non-diegetic, and it's just... pick something. For the love of all that is holy, just fucking pick something. Can we move on now, please? Unless you've got anything else to say about this fucking movie.
Nah.
No,
Good. Good. Moving on. Christopher fucking Robin.
Ugh.
It's such a weird one to choose.
What? Is it though? Is it though? Because this movie irritates me.
I mean, yeah, like there's tons of movies that irritating, but like...
Okay, so why do you guys like it then?
I've never fucking seen it. I just think it's weird. I just think it's a weird choice of all the ones you could have chosen.
What, all the ones that they could have chosen to make, or the ones that I could choose to critique?
Yeah, you could have chosen to critique. I feel like this one's like way under the radar that like I don't think anyone really gives a shit about this movie.
I give a shit! Me! Look at the shit I have! It's in my hands, freshly squeezed from the anus, and I'm here giving it!
Did you hear that?
But I didn't need to see this movie, but I did! And here it is, and it's, oh god. And so, the idea is, Christopher Robin is all grown up. But, you know, he's got to interact with Winnie the Pooh somehow, and it's all about him growing up and his life right now. And here's the thing, this is a really interesting idea. This could have been a really thoughtful, moody, light-hearted film that Ewan McGregor could have done a really good job with, and it would have been so interesting. And they chose to think, okay, here's an idea. How about we make it not interesting and stuff it with as many cliches as we fucking can? Let's make, oh god. So the story is Christopher Robin is all grown up and he's now, married to Agent Carter with a young child, and he works in a luggage making company. This is like the 1950s roundabout time, and he's like the quality efficiency expert guy, and he's been working very hard lately. And this is about like 10, 15 minutes into the movie, and I realized like, oh, they're doing this shit. This fucking shit. He's the workaholic father, and he needs to find time for his family because they resent him for not being around enough. And I'm so fucking sick of this cliche. Like, I was sick of it the 50,000th time, and now we're the 50 millionth time, and I just want to kill someone. God! Aren't you tired of it, guys? Aren't you tired of it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's an easy...
It's Hook, but with poo.
Kind of rely on.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When Hook did it, that cliche was already becoming it kind of tiresome, but it got away with it because it did what this movie should have done, in that it explored not just that aspect of him, which was stupid, but also other aspects of him. What it means to grow up, be a father, and so many other aspects. And this movie doesn't really do that. It just constantly shits. It shits on Christopher Robin. How dare you, Christopher Robin, have a job? How dare you have to devote a significant portion of your life to that job? What are you doing that for? Why the hell do you do that for? What, to put food on the table for your family? Pfft. How dare you? What else? What other reason could you possibly have to do it? Oh, to make sure that you make sure that other people that work for you and work in your company don't have to be fired, so that they aren't, tossed out on the streets. People who fought in goddamn World War II don't lose their jobs. What an absolute bastard you are. And yes, I know. You should. Everyone should have a good, personal work-life balance. But this is the 1950s when no employer gave a crap about that. So what the fuck is he supposed to do? Here's an idea, Haley Atwell. Why don't you get a job? I know it's the 1950s and, job opportunities and working conditions for women are not brilliant. Obviously, I know that. But there were jobs. There were stuff you can do. And you're talking about sending your little kid off to school anyway. So here's an idea. Why don't you get a job? Dual income houses so he can take more time off and maybe get a less pressure job. Why don't you do that? No? Apparently that doesn't even occur to you? Okay, fine. I'm frothing at the mouth!
I think you're overthinking it.
I'm not overthinking it. You're underthinking it. Because it's not even this movie's fault. It's the straw that broke the donkey's back, and I'd be fine with it if the movie devoted less time to it. But it's like the central conflict of the movie. He's trying to spend more time with his family, but he can't because of his job, and various hijinks go on, and his family resent him for it. And it's just... God, and it would be different if his job was like, he was working for an evil lawyer who was trying to evict people out of their homes, or an evil oil baron who wanted to flood wetlands with smoke and swamp like a fucking Captain Planet villain. But no, it's a really, really important job he's trying to save other people's jobs, and everyone just shits on him for it. Just why? Fucking why? And it's...
I think the intended characterization was supposed to be a copy of Robin Williams as Peter Pan in Hook. He's supposed to be a bloke who has somehow lost his childlike wonderness, but they kind of went about the wrong way when writing the script.
But even if you did misinterpret that as it's just being about a workaholic dad, the character in Peter Pan in Hook, played by Robin Williams, was a workaholic who didn't devote enough time and was in a stupid job that didn't require enough attention. Whereas Christopher Robin is in an important job, and he does try. The core guy does try, and he gets no thanks, no consideration, none whatsoever. And
you're right, it is a bit of a dead trope.
And I could live with it if it was a minor thing in the movie, but it's the main focus, to the point where it actually takes focus away from his interactions with the little toy characters. I want to see grown-up Christopher Robin interact with Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore and all that shit. That sounds really interesting, but most of the movie, even with those characters, is just about that. And it doesn't help the fact that the animals kind of look a little scraggly and worn down. They don't look appealing at all. I know they've been living in the 100-acre woods for a couple of decades, but still.
Well, they are toys.
I know, but
They're
you think there'll be a...
Toys age.
I know, but they never address it. Like it said,
They don't need to address it. They're toys.
But it kind of makes me worried about them. It makes me think that at some point these toys are just going to disintegrate and then they'll die.
Well, they probably will. I hate to crush your dreams, but they will.
Yeah.
But the movie just kind of leaves you with that without ever addressing it.
Well, I also told you that when Elsa eventually kicks the bucket, Olaf's gonna die as well. So I'm crushing your dreams all the time.
Well, you made the bold assumption that I actually give a shit about Olaf. I give a shit about Winnie the Pooh.
Why?
Oh, God. And it concludes with a dramatic car chase and misunderstandings and a final big confrontation with the evil bad guy. And it's just like, why are you dumbing down a beloved childhood icon that was much smarter than a lot of people, even the ones that do give it credit, actually do give it credit for? This movie could have been smarter and more soulful and more emotional. It could have easily been that. It was within their grasp, and the movie would have done brilliantly no matter what. Kids would have loved it. Adults would have loved it. But they said, no, we're not going to be smart about this on purpose. We're going to be as bland and as basic as possible and just shit these movies out. Christopher Robin is the epitome of why I hate these movies. And
it's such a weird one to hate. It's such a weird one to be like, this is the one. This is the one. This is the one that is the worst bad one. That is the one that is the worst and the most obvious one to hate. That is such a weird one to be the epitome. I feel like Aladdin is like the epitome. Maybe Beauty and the Beast is the epitome. But fucking Christopher Robin, it's such a weird one.
It's just... Maybe it's because I grew up with a working father and a working mother, and my dad in particular wasn't always there. Not because he didn't want to be, but because he couldn't be. And sometimes that was hard, but I never once, even as a little kid, thought to blame him. I was sad when he was gone, and I was happy when he was there, and I could tell that he was happy when he was there. But I never blamed him because I knew that we needed it. We did not own our houses growing up. We had to live in shitty Ministry of Defense houses because there was nowhere else we could potentially stay, because you don't make a lot of money with even with the dual income of a teacher's salary and a fairly low ranking, at least back when I was a kid, RAF officer's salary. And as I got older and became a teenager, things got a lot better for us. But it's just insulting. This movie is insulting, A, to Winnie the Pooh fans, B, to Disney fans in general, and C, to working parents. It's just a fucking insult all round. So that no matter how you look at this movie, really, at least for me, you can't like it.
You're so hung up on this one, thing that I'm sure that, barely anyone else picked up on. That's such a plot point in other things that, I feel like this movie, again, I haven't seen it, but this movie is not the end all be all of this trope. Other movies do this and probably do it a lot more. So
but this is the latest one. It's not the biggest straw, it's the last straw.
This movie came out 3 years ago. This can't
2 years ago.
This movie can't be the last one to do it.
Well, it was when I first saw it, and that's
Of course it was when you first saw it, Scott. That's how time works.
Not for me, I'm English. Time works differently for us. Watch Doctor Who, you'll see. But anyway,
before we jump to the next one,
I've made my peace.
Maybe if they had chucked this dead trope out, and maybe if they had focused on Christopher Robin's PTSD from World War II, how that affected his adulthood, maybe that would have been a better...
They did that! It was a biopic about A.L. Milne, the original creator of Winnie the Pooh and his relationship with his son. A far better movie.
Rather than do this dead trope you've lost your mind over. Again.
Well, there's a million better ways they could do this movie. It's not difficult. Moving on. Oh no, I don't wanna. Oh God, Beauty and the Beast.
Next.
No, we have to talk about it. We have to talk about it.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Okay, fine. Can I go first?
Please.
Thank you. Okay. So, Emma Watson should not be Belle. I know that's like they cast her too because she's really good as Hermione. She's characters kind of similar, but she can't sing. I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
Can't sing. She's auto-tuned to hell. It's really unfair for her, especially when you're cast next to like a number of people who have theatrical backgrounds, and then you've got poor Emma Watson being stuck. Frankly, what's the word I'm looking for? Typecast.
Miscast.
As Belle. Miscast.
Typecast for her like outside personality as like an actual women's rights activist.
Yeah, no, and she's brilliant at that. I will say that, and I like her as an actor, but she's not my favorite. But I do like her as an actor. I think she could potentially do it, but like either hire someone who can sing or dub her. And even, there's a million other actors who could play Belle just as well, if not better. And this is the problem. Oh, God. And speaking of, okay, so, I talked about feminism on this show before, and even in this episode before. Let's do a bit of a deeper dive now. Because there's feminism, which is good. I think we can all agree. Yeah, feminism good, Mark?
Yeah.
Yep, Alex, yep. Okay, so we're all agreed. Feminism, thumbs up.
Yes.
Good. I'm glad we've established that.
That shouldn't be a question, it should be a fact.
It absolutely should be, but for some people it's a question. And that annoys me, but there are indeed idiots. That is correct. Well done. But there is, other aspects of that same idiocy are, I don't want to say pseudo-feminism. I don't want to say that, but...
Girl boss feminism.
That's the... I think, Alex, you're the best person to explain this.
Okay. Well, Lindsay Ellis is the best person to explain this.
Lindsay Ellis is the best person to explain anything.
So it's girl boss feminism is the type of feminism that men think feminism is, where if you put a woman in charge, it's okay. If you make as long as you let a woman talk.
Oh my God, did you see, I saw the trailer for this horrible looking film starring Tiffany Haddish.
Is it called Girl Boss?
It's not called Girl Boss, although that is a thing. Let's not forget there was a movie that tried to do that.
No, but there's a Tiffany Haddish movie. I think I know what you're talking about. It came out actually like I think last year or something.
With Penelope Cruz as the evil makeup tycoon. Who steals her and a partner's idea.
It's this idea that like we need more female dictators. Right. That like we like it is the idea that women in power does not mean compassionate women in power. It literally just means put a vagina there and it makes it better. It does not mean there's no nuance to that. There's no some women don't have vaginas. There's no conversation about any kind of nuance about who those women are. There's no talk of our first actual the first woman in the United States that got anywhere close to the presidency was Sarah fucking Palin. So like no one like it's like that's girl boss feminism is Sarah Palin.
Yeah, we can put her in The Masked Singer. We can put her in all the Strictly Come Dancing shows. Sure, why not? Anyway, and there's an aspect of girl boss feminism that goes beyond like character in terms of feminist theory. The idea we want to put feminist messages in our movie, and which is good unless you don't know what you're talking about or what you're doing. In which case it comes to us as awkward, uncomfortable, and most likely forced.
Yeah.
That's what they did with Belle in this movie. They took
women can read, and that's the extent of the progress in that movie. Is that women are allowed to read.
Do you know why? But here's the thing with Belle in the original 1990s movie. I think she's only really a good feminist character for the first third, then she gets trapped in the Beast's castle, and boom, agency gone. I wash my hands of her. But Act 1 Belle, I fucking love Act 1 Belle. Why? Not because she reads, although that is nice. That's nice. But I like her as a feminist character because she's outspoken. She's smart. She's witty. She does not suffer fools gladly, but nor is she going to just lash out blindly at anyone who looks at her sideways. She's not a pushover, nor is she overly aggressive, and she's not some middle-of-the-road candidate that's trying to be bland and homogenized either. She is just Belle, adventurous, full of spirit and grit, and I like that. And they decided to remove all of that and put in this idea of, like, she's an inventor?
Yep.
It's a dad's role, and if you want to take that away from the dad, fine, and give it to her, okay, cool, fine. But it's, we end up, as you say, Alex, with the feminist message that girls can read. Yeah, we know that. We know that, and that would be a very important message if this was actually set in the medieval period. Whenever it's set,
it ends up being a patronizing message. It ends up being like girls, you can read, and it's like, yeah, we fucking what? Yeah, thanks, Disney.
Well done. Oh my god, I never even realized that. All those times I read books with my sister when we shared books and shit. Like, oh my god, I could mind equals blown. The original Belle didn't need to teach a little girl how to read. The original Belle didn't need to rig up. Oh, and what invention does she come up with? What invention does she come up with in the movie? A fucking washing machine.
That's not at all symbolic in the wrong way.
I mean, yeah, I get what they were going for. Like, that would be a massive convenience in those times. But symbolically, as you say, Mark, it sends entirely the wrong fucking message.
Not to mention the use of the donkey.
Oh god, and that's the epitome. That encapsulates this movie's problems in a nutshell. It tries to fix problems, some of which existed, some of which didn't, and completely fails and creates brand new problems.
I mean, did we really need an explanation where Belle's mum was? Like, okay, Belle's mum's dead. We get that. We don't need a whole backstory about it. She's dead.
Leaving aside the fact that's a stupid fucking Disney trope to begin with. Oh, you're a parent? Oh, are you especially a mother? Killed, dead. Yeah. But anyway, like,
get drunk every time. Take a drink every time a Disney parent dies.
Moana's parents aren't dead. Moana's parents are both alive.
Oh wow, that's one.
Yeah, that's the only. I actually was like scanning my brain to think of one, and I think it's only
Moana and Rapunzel.
Rapunzel's parents are still alive.
I don't even have a mom. They ran away.
Okay, so that's two, and even then, a mother figure of Rapunzel's did die.
Rapunzel thought that they died.
But anyway, that's a side problem for another day. God, this is just a never-ending. Like, it's like we're digging a mine shaft to the center of the center of the earth, and just like little pockets of air just keep blasting us from bit to bit. Oh god, and then there's. This is another thing I want to hand the mic over to you, Alex, to talk about. Disney's first gay character. Care to elaborate, Alex?
Okay. Yeah, so this is Disney's 18th first gay character.
Even if you left out all the gay-coded characters, it's still quite a list.
Actually, I think this was the first one that they really tried to market as the first gay character. It was this one, and then the one the moms in Finding Dory, or was Finding Dory first? I don't
But LeFou, apparently, there was a whole thick thing that LeFou was going to be gay and he was going to be in love with Gaston. That was his whole arc. And the only hint that we got of any of that was that at the end of the movie, he gets poked on the shoulder while everyone's dancing and having a good time. He gets poked on the shoulder by a man and they dance. And it's not
they don't even
like,
dance, they just sort of hold hands and are about to start dancing, but it cuts away.
Yeah, it's not even like he's just suddenly like, oh, okay, I'm dancing with this guy now. Like, it's not even like ooh, I'm dancing with this guy now. It's like, okay, cool, this guy wants to dance with me. Cool, let's just go.
My god, they touch in a slightly dancey way. That means they're gay. No,
it's nothing. No. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing.
And the thing that was actually slightly more than that, but still not enough in my opinion, was that scene earlier where I think the same guy ends up getting dressed up in women's clothes against his will, and he actually kind of likes it.
Oh, yeah, that definitely means he's gay.
Oh, you know what? Sometimes Disney, women's clothes are just comfortable. It's not a gay thing, it's not a gender thing. Maybe I just like a bit of a breeze down there. You don't know.
Wow.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And there's so many. The never-ending parade of them desperately trying to fix stuff, and I think
the only time they've ever actually done it is Andy Mack. Like, and it's a TV show that on what is it, fucking Disney XD that no one's watched. Like,
well, there was. Oh no, there was what was that other thing? Oh yeah, they made two of the police officers gay in the very last couple of minutes of Gravity Falls.
Don't bash Gravity Falls.
Oh yeah, but that was Alex Hirsch. That was Alex Hirsch like begging for years to be able to do that. Like those, I think those officers those characters have been. He's been trying to make like them a couple for like the entirety of the show, and they kept like he kept having to like redraw it so they weren't a couple. So that's I understand.
Yeah, but we all knew watching.
Yeah,
we all knew that guy had it hard for Officer Blubs.
Yeah, that was a Disney thing, not a Gravity Falls thing. I don't put that on Gravity Falls.
No, fair enough. But oh God, the amount of you know what? I think it's easy for me. It is so easy for me to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If I was in charge of a TV show, an animated kids TV show, and I wanted to put a gay character in there, and they said no, I would just say, okay, fine. I will then go to every single major news outlet and tell them that I wanted to put in a gay character, but you stopped me because you're homophobic. Do you want me to do that? Well, no, but if you do that, we'll legal action. I don't care. Oh shit. Oh yeah, so here's an idea. Why don't we put a couple of gay characters in there, make them all fleshed out and well-rounded beyond their sexuality, but, still have them very much be explicitly gay, and let's win ourselves a couple of GLAAD awards and be all the better for it. Does that sound good?
So the progression of that is kind of what happened. There was a period of time in the late 2005 to 2015, mostly with while Adventure Time was on the air, Pendleton Ward really, really wanted to actually explicitly have Princess Bubblegum and Marceline talk about their past relationship. He had explicitly said, outside of the show, he had explicitly said that they had been a couple and broke up, and tried to hint at it in the outside comics as much as possible. But what he had said in interviews, what Cartoon Network had officially said, is that they want to do it but couldn't because some of the countries that they aired in, it was illegal.
And they kept pushing for that due to those countries,
right? And then Steven Universe started coming out, and Steven Universe started pushing some envelopes, and they were allowed to do things.
Until they were suddenly censored in this country, I want to point out. We talk about those countries like Saudi Arabia or something far away.
It was Ukraine for Adventure Time,
or Ukraine or someplace like that. But Steven Universe, I know which Steven you're talking about, was censored in the UK, in this fucking country, and it's just really? England is the fucking gayest country in the fucking world.
Mm-hmm. And it was
it was Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, and Adventure Time that has those are the three shows that have pushed for and made it more okay that queer couples have showed up on a lot more on children's animated shows. Like if you watch like the stuff that's on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon now, you're going to see it a lot more. A lot of the new stuff, you're going to be seeing it a lot more, like pretty much all the time. And that is just like it's because those.
It's because of them, not because of fucking Gaston and
Right.
LeFou and Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. It's because those creators spoke up and were like, hey, we need this. Like we need to have this in our media. No, it's not because of fucking the companies.
No, it's absolutely not. It's down to individual creators who stood up and said, no, this is gonna happen. Either get on board or get out of the way. And more people need to do that because, yes, things are getting better. But the minute you slip up, the minute you relax, that's when they was like, okay, we're not going to do that anymore for stupid reasons. Blah, 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 blah. And so let's move on from Beauty and the fucking Beast and move on to a film that I know you're both going to love, Dumbo. Another Tim Burton movie. I'm sorry, Mark, I'm getting a bit of interference on your end. What was that noise? I think that's a fair assessment. Do you like this movie?
Dung. This movie is elephant dung. I watched Operation Dumbo Drop last week, and I enjoyed that more than watching this movie.
You watch what?
I watched Operation Dumbo Drop.
What the fuck is Operation Dumbo
It's a
Drop?
live-action film they did in the 90s. It involves a bunch of soldiers in Vietnam having to get an elephant across the country in order to make a village happy.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I would rather watch that movie. Fucking hell, that sounds amazing.
They have to put the elephant in a plane and eventually have to parachute it into this village. It's brilliant. And it's got Dennis Leary.
Wow.
It's got Dennis Leary in it as well, so that's kind of fun.
Oh my god, I have to see this. How have I never heard of this fucking movie? Right, that's it. I'm out. I'm gone.
Yeah, gotta pause the show. Gotta go watch that.
We got Dumbo to bash. Okay, it's gone.
Oh, okay, I'm back. Right, I've decided to come back. See, Dumbo. First of all, I wanted to get this out of the way. This movie looks very nice for the most part. It actually looks rather pretty at times. What a pity that all the characters are stupid and boring, and I hate them, especially the children. Especially the children!
It's like a boring version of Jane and Michael.
Oh, God. Remember in the 1960s when child characters had, personality?
Fun.
Did they?
Yeah. Here they are, big cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, what happened? It's weird. In the 1960s, they had personality. In the 1970s, you barely saw them. In the 1980s, they were criminals. The 1990s, they were full of attitude.
Okay, but that's just like the ones, like, you remember them because they had a personality.
Yeah, these
maybe
ones,
you forgot about all of the other ones that got thrown onto the heap of no personality.
Maybe.
Because they're not memorable.
But the reverse has happened now, because now I definitely remember these kids because of how boring and bland they were. And again, pseudo-feminism rears its ugly head with the girl character. I want to be a scientist. Okay, how does that inform your personality? My what now?
Yeah.
I think boring Lisa Simpson.
Like, that's a Tim Burton problem. Tim Burton has a huge problem with that.
Tim Burton has a huge problem.
A huge problem.
I'm going to phrase my words carefully here. For the first time ever, I'm going to phrase my words carefully. Tim Burton doesn't always write the best female characters. Sometimes he does. Big Eyes, excellent. Sometimes less so. He's a bit like Edgar Wright in that respect. It's just, I
think the women that he's adapting from other things, I think, are usually pretty good. Like Mrs. Lovett is really good because that's not a character he came up with. Big Eyes, I think, is good because that's a woman who existed in real life. Like,
yeah, but then you have characters that are just like Edward Scissorhands, the female character that played by Winona Ryder, starts off pretty good, but then she starts becoming what a lot of his female characters do, in that, at least his female lead, in that they kind of get just a little bit obsessed with the main character, like Sally in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. Well, he didn't direct that. That's someone else. He wrote that wasn't him at all for the most part.
That is a very good point, yes. So, yeah, and in fairness, the weird thing is, it's not really the kid's story in Dumbo. It's not even really Dumbo's story. It's Colin Farrell's. Okay, fine. He's back from the war. He's missing an arm, and he's struggling to adapt in the zoo. This is interesting. Oh, there's an elephant. Oh, it's got slightly larger ears than might be expected upon a baby elephant, and this apparently makes it a worthless freak. No, I don't get that at all.
It's a circus. And it's a circus in the early 20th century where, the freak show is kind of popular.
Yeah,
Inappropriately popular.
Why is this a problem? Like, in the original, it still wasn't really a problem, but at least I understood a bit more because those ears on the original animated were fucking massive. Even for a...
And adorable.
Here, the ears are just slightly bigger. And I swear, it's like they were making this movie up as they went along. Just introducing new elements all the time. Actually, we talked about female characters. I will say, Eva Green's character in this movie, I thought was rather good.
Not seen it.
Not seen it. She's interesting. She's sly. She's clearly got a dark side, a bit of an edge to her, but she's not without compassion. And I thought she was rather interesting. Problem is, we're just surrounded by all this nonsense going on, this bland, boring nonsense. And, I mean, what's your biggest problem with this movie, Mark? Apart from
that
it sucks. It's not a problem. It's empty.
It's empty. It's like, if you'll bear with me, the first Dumbo film is like an hour long. It's probably not very appropriate. It's about an elephant who gets hammered, trips out, and then gets helped by some racist crows to learn how to fly, and then becomes a celebrity, and then also inspires World War II planes. So there you go. This one kind of has the first hour is Dumbo, and then it turns into Free Willy.
Basically, yeah.
And it feels just boring. It's about a flying elephant, and someone made that boring.
Yeah, and it ends on this weird, kind of forced animal rights message. Bearing in mind, again, what a shock! Disney, a couple of years late with a message. Like, people haven't used animals in circuses, reputable circuses at least, for fucking years. I'm looking at you, Joe Exotic.
Exactly.
But and then this movie comes along saying, we don't use any animals in our circus. Well, thanks, Danny DeVito. That's really great. Except you totally did. You did for years, and you seem to be fine with it. I don't know. It's...
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's just another thing. Oh, no. Oh, here's... Oh, no. Oh, no. Aladdin.
Yeah. We're just thrown together.
Oh, God.
So, do you guys kind of get it now? Remakes are all stupid. Remakes are all reheated, so they're tepid. Remakes are all Lizzie. Remakes are all so profitable. It's crazy. Disney caused so much mayhem. Favreau should go and fucking sue them. God, they'll never fucking stop. Their remakes are all crap. Remakes are all so vile. When I see there's a new one, it makes me hostile. I go on a rant, and everyone ignores me like I'm an ant. Disney just want your money. It's so clear it's not even funny. I'm having a strop. Their remakes are all crap.
Okay, Sky, you've made your point. These films are shit, but there's something you might have missed. No need for upheaval.
Shut up, they're evil.
Dumbo made me cry.
Fuck off and die. Remakes are all shitty.
Not sure remakes are all shitty.
They're all so bad, I'd much rather watch Glee.
You fucking hate Glee.
Which means I'm serious. My hatred for Disney is not superfluous.
Disney's afraid of changing.
A fact that leaves me fucking raging.
But Beauty and the Beast,
God, no.
Lion King at least.
Veto!
Go watch Cowboy Bebop. Not all.
Their remakes are all crap. Yeah, I mean, this fucking Aladdin, this movie.
Why is Guy Ritchie directing a musical?
I don't know. It's the
Why don't they
weirdest.
get
It's the weirdest.
Why don't they get someone who could? Why don't they get like who did Chicago and things like that?
Oh, well, that would have been an idea, you know. Or
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
maybe you could get a director who worked in like Bollywood or something. Someone who's used to those big sort of musical spectacular sort of things. I don't know. There was a way that this could have worked, but here's the thing. Out of all of these movies, I'd say this is the one, except for that one movie that we do not mention. Except for that one movie, this is the one that's most like the original, to its detriment.
I honestly have no idea what you mean by the other movie that we're not talking about.
You will do.
You will do. I will do.
Roar.
What?
Just hold your horses, Alex, trust me. Oh, God. Let's focus on one piece of shit at a time.
Alright.
Why am I mentioning shit? Just cool your jets, okay?
Hold on to a carpet.
Anyhow, no. So this movie, oh God, I mean, here's the thing. We have talked about some of these movies on previous episodes of Podcapers, so apologies if we do repeat ourselves occasionally, or have repeated ourselves, but I just want to point out how brave it was in this movie for them to cast as their main character an actor with absolutely zero charisma. It's so brave of them. So brave. I don't care that he can dance. I don't care. I'm not getting enough, auditions now that Aladdin's over. Yeah, that's because we saw Aladdin. Like, I'm sorry, maybe you're good in other things, but I don't really want to know because I know you're bad in this movie. Ugh, so many problems, so many fucking problems. Not least of which, all the problems that were left over from the original animated version.
Even the good parts of that movie made boring.
Of which I can remember none. But that's, oh God. So, let's get one of the biggest problems out of the way, the genie. Now, no matter what we say here, none of this is Will Smith's fault. I want to make that clear. It's not his fault. He did the best he could with what he had. And there were times when it did actually work. When it was Will Smith's genie, not Will Smith's genie trying to be Robin Williams' genie. It was so close to working, but even that didn't work with... I mean, I remember when they released the trainer showcasing the genie and how people reacted to it, and I remember laughing harder than I had in years.
At them or at the genie?
What's that?
At them or at the genie?
Both. Just both. Just okay. Like... just everyone was just... Oh, God. Do any of the characters come out good in this? Maybe Jasmine.
Acting-wise, yes. Character-wise, probably not.
Well, not even acting-wise. I think Naomi Scott as Jasmine comes out great, and Will Smith comes out okay.
Everyone else... Frank Welker's back as a Boo.
Oh, it's Frank Welker. He will always have a career. He'll have a career even after he's dead. His ghost will continue making animal noises.
Oh, speaking of which, why the hell didn't they get Gilbert Gottfried back?
Because, oh my god, Mark, we can't have a talking parrot in this movie. That would be silly. We have to make that parrot giant.
Oh, and voiced by Alan Tudyk.
Obviously. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Oh god, I don't know where to start. Where do I fucking start with this movie? I could try to start with the genie, but I lost my will to live. I could start with the fact that Aladdin is somehow made even worse in this movie. In addition to, you know, all the stupid, unnecessary lies he told in the original, but now, at least in the original, he felt bad about lying. He didn't fucking do anything about it, but he felt bad. In this version, not only does he not feel bad, he's fucking arrogant about it. He's just like, hooray, yes, I lied my way into the upper echelons of power. Go me. And Will Smith's just like, hey, maybe you'd want to not be so happy about that? And he's just like, fuck you, man, I'm Aladdin, I can do what I want.
Obsessing about jam.
Oh yes, oh yeah. Clearly, the guy who wrote the rock dialogue, that intern, got a second shot at writing dialogue. You there, intern? We need a funny scene in this movie. I told you, I'm not a writer. I just get coffee. I don't care. Give me something. What's the scene? Aladdin is meeting Jasmine as Prince Ali for the first time, and he's got like gifts for her. Okay, what's a gift? Oh god, what's a gift? Oh, over there at the craft services table. There's some jam. He has jams. What kind of jams? All the jams. And apparently this is funny. No, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. Oh god. And they got Naseem Pedrad, a really funny actor who used to be on SNL, and she's not funny. She's not funny. That was funny. Not even Jafar, who could be funny in the original, is funny. He's just kind of boring and there and boring and god. And oh god. And so you know my problems with Princess Jasmine in the original, right?
Yeah.
You know how I think that, again, oh god. Okay, so it's pseudo-feminism again. So it's like, okay, we want our female lead this time to be strong, tough, independent, and smart. Except when Aladdin needs to save her. Then she's stupid, weak, and unable to do anything, even the most simple of tasks. Very clear on that. And they have the opportunity to fix that, and they come close, and then they just completely fumble it right near the end of the line, where it's like, okay, so a kingdom and her father have been enslaved and taken over by Jafar, and she's been led away. So let's make her give her a big, huge song, a new song, about how she won't be silent or speechless. She's gonna belt it out. It's gonna be awesome and cool and epic. And then she's made completely and utterly silent. She immediately bows down to Jafar, just like, okay, yeah, sorry, whoops, no, I'm not gonna stand against you. Sorry for having an independent thought for a second there. Fuck! It's just like, either make her crap and useless, or make her not crap and useless. Stop going in the middle. Oh, and of course, on top of all that, the cherry on this diarrhea sundae is... They just had to put a white guy in there, didn't they?
Yeah, who's getting his own series.
Oh yeah, apparently there's a bunch of spin-offs going off, as well as a possible prequel and or sequel, and talks have been discussed on Disney Plus about a show starring Prince Anders, because that's who we remember from this movie, Prince Anders. Remember the one white guy? I don't even know what even nationality was he? Was he Swedish? No! Oh god! And so the musical numbers, the big musical numbers. There is one effective musical number that Never Had a Friend Like Me. That looks kind of cool. That looks awesome. The rest are just, they're so boring. Wow, they're boring. Wow.
How the hell?
Go on.
How the hell did they make a whole new world boring?
Because they said it at night and they didn't. Okay,
the original's at night.
Problem.
You idiot.
You could set the original at night because it was animation, and you can clearly illuminate everything at night in animation. But in live action, even if you're using CGI, it just kind of looks like they're flying through a shadow world. Like, fuck, it's Arabia. fucking rolling desert plains, oases, huge waterfalls and stuff. Show that in the fucking daytime. Why not? But no.
They just do a lap. They do a lap around the castle, about the palace.
Yeah, here's the thing. Agrabah in the original, kind of impressive and awe-inspiring. It's a fucking massive, huge city, illuminated with a skyline of a massive, huge palace. And in the movie, it's just like a big building, slightly in a slightly small. Yeah, it's basically it's not even that. And here's my problem with the original A Whole New World. Leaving aside the song is fine, kind of, one thing at a time. Here's the problem with that sequence of events in the original. How the fuck are they flying so fast and singing at the same time? Like, this is a carpet that's taking from the Arabian Peninsula all the way to China and back in one night. Can't have been more than 3-4 hours.
Okay, that's like a Cinema Sins level.
Yeah.
Fucking nitpick.
Yeah.
Maybe it always just kind of annoys me. But here's the thing: if you go the opposite route and do it more naturalistically, okay, we can't show the whole new world because that's fucking weird. Then you're not really showing her a whole new world. So you make it a metaphorical whole new world. She's seeing the same thing, but from a different perspective, so it feels different. Except they don't really do that either. I don't know. Maybe they could have done like, oh, she visited Agrabah on the street level earlier in the movie, so now she's seeing it from far up above. I don't know. There's a way you could have done that. Maybe if your movie wasn't directed by Guy Ritchie, who's mainly known for like British gangster movies. And I'm not saying he can't do other things, because he is a good director, but this? Really? This? Did you have like a huge car payment you needed to get money for, Guy? What's going on here? All the musical numbers, like the Prince Elise thing, it's like meant to be this huge, massive fucking parade, and it's just like an Easter floating parade, just slightly goes through the city. What spectacular wonders we have not seen since the St. Patrick's Day parade in Boston. Without the Green River. I don't know. Just, oh my god, it's so scaled down.
Like 40% sure the Green River is Chicago.
You again, for the third time, you made another bold assumption that I give a crap. Don't dye your rivers green, America! That can't be good! Oh, God.
Have they fixed the Flint problem?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, of course not.
What are you, insane? Fix a basic water problem in a first world country that's America? No, come on, Mark, be realistic. They need to make, Fortune 500 companies even richer. That's the priority.
And go mining on the moon.
Space Force. Anyway. Oh, God, we're lost in a whirlpool of delusion and madness.
Like Mickey and Fantasia.
Yeah, and this I fucking hate the original movie. I hate this movie, all for the same reasons. God, can we talk about a movie that I don't think it's good, but I kinda like it. It's just I need a break. I need a fucking break. 102 Dalmatians.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Because, okay, so this is a sequel to a remake, so I'm not sure if it counts, but fuck you, I need this, because it's not good. It's not good at all. But it is kind of fun. Like all these other movies, they're a chore to sit through. This is kind of fun once you sort of just embrace the fact that it's a bit crap and just enjoy the ride. How does this movie start? Well, Cruella de Vil voluntarily agrees in prison to undergo psychological conditioning. I'm gonna say that again. Cruella de Vil agrees to be fucking brainwashed to like animals, especially dogs, and is let out on probation with the warning that if she ever steals dogs again, her entire fortune will be donated to the dog shelters of the Borough of Westminster. And I'm just thinking, like, that is a really oddly creative punishment there, Judge. Like, is that legal? Can you do that in the UK? I don't know. But apparently, because she's been fucking brainwashed into loving animals, she doesn't want to do that. In fact, she gets a job at the only dog shelter in the Borough of Westminster, where all her money would go. Westminster is a fucking big place, guys. I'm pretty sure there'd be more than one dog shelter. Like, even a small one? No? Do you not think? I don't know. Which happens to be run by...
Mr.
Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic / Horatio Hornblower, whichever one you want to pick. She's not really the main character. Well, she kind of is the main character, but he's not the main character. The main character is Cruella de Vil's probation officer, who happens to own one of the original dogs from the original movie, Dipstick, who apparently remembers her and the trauma he suffered at her hands. Poor dog, jeez. And she starts going out with Horatio Hornblower, all the while Cruella proves to the world that actually she has changed. Except no, because halfway through the movie, it turns out there's only one thing that can reverse the psychological conditioning, and that's the chimes of Big Ben. A couple of things. First of all, what? Second of all, her probation officer's office is right opposite Big Ben. First of all, that's some fucking prime real estate. I don't know how she managed that. And second of all, are you telling me she really never heard those chimes before in all the time she spent in London? Like, that, it rings on the hour. Every hour, and you're telling me all the time she spent in London, she never heard it until this one specific point?
Exactly.
That's some fucking weird luck. Third of all, I refer you to my first of all, what? Really? How the fuck does that work? How the fuck does all this weird psychological conditioning be underwritten by fucking Big Ben? This is the weirdest thing in these movies, and that is saying something. And it leads to the scene, which is so bizarre and so kind of creepy and scary. I actually love it a little bit. Where upon hearing the chimes of Big Ben, the Cruella de Vil song, not like Cruella de Vil, not that song, like a Gregorian choir starts chanting Cruella de Vil, and it's in a really faint but getting progressively louder and louder chant. All the while psycho strings play, rink, 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 and she starts to, like, her clothes start to transform, like she gets shoulder pads all of a sudden, and, like, nails on her gloves. It's like, what the fuck, is she becoming the Fly? Oh my god! And she stumbles out onto the streets of London, and everyone around her starts appearing is completely white with Dalmatian spots, and then all the buildings and the streets and the cars look like they're Dalmatian patterned, and then her butler, the only other returning character played by Tim McInnery, says like, hey, are you alright? And in this movie she asks that she's referred to as Ella, not Cruella, but then she says, not Ella, Ella's gone and Cruella's back! And starts laughing like fucking Doctor Doom, and I love it.
I like that.
It's so fucking weird and scary and bizarre. And at this point, I'm just giving myself over to the madness. It's weird, and I love it. And then she's completely evil for the rest of the movie. Cartoonishly evil. Glenn Close nearly won an Oscar, and she's doing this. Oh my god. And then she starts stealing 102 Dalmatians, because apparently she's not concerned about being caught or captured, because now she wants a hooded spotted puppy coat. And this is when the movie throws out of nowhere this bizarre plot point at us that's actually the smartest piece of writing in any of these live-action Disney remakes, where it turns out she plants these stolen puppies at this dog shelter, And the police are saying, oh my god, we thought Cruella de Vil stole those dogs, but it turns out you did. Why on earth would you do that, Horatio Hornblower? And he's like, I didn't, I wouldn't. And Cruella de Vil is just like, oh my god, the judge's order. The police are like, what? She's like, if I'm ever caught stealing puppies again, my entire fortune goes to him. That's a motive. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, wow, that bit of weird Poirot-esque plot twist is too smart for this movie. Bearing in mind, we had a scene where Glenn Close screamed and laughed in the middle of the street that was just completely Dalmatian covered. One of these things is not like the other. And then the rest of the movie is just them trying to get the puppies back. Oh, and there is a parrot voiced by Eric Idle. There is no reason for a parrot voiced by Eric Idle. Oh, and the parrot voiced by Eric Idle also thinks that it's a dog. I don't know why you're looking at me. Like, it just... I don't know. I don't know. This movie makes zero sense to me. I love it. It's terrible. Never watch it. Watch it. It's great. It's awful. I hate it. I love it.
Actually, there's a funny story that Glenn Close told, what's his name?
Jonathan Ross?
Jonathan Ross. Where she met a mother introduced her to her child, and she's like, that's not Cruella. And then she started doing the laugh, and the kids started screaming.
Yeah, because it's a fucking brilliant laugh, and Glenn Close is amazing in it. I mean, she's amazing in everything, but oh god, it's so bizarre. It's so fucking bizarre. And bearing in mind, it's a sequel to a live action 102 Dalmatians, where the animals do not talk, and it's got like Home Alone-esque traps in it.
And raccoons.
Like, that's saying something. This movie is weird, but that's great. I feel better now. My palate has been cleansed. Now I can go and talk about something that I actually fucking hate, and I know that I definitely hate. Alice Through the Looking Glass.
Oh, I'm shocked we didn't talk about this right after the other Alice movie.
Sacha Baron.
I needed to space it out, and otherwise I'd have a fucking heart
Sacha Baron
attack.
Cohen's doing a good thing in this.
Yeah, that's the thing about this. This movie is complete and utter crap, but everything related to this one character is brilliant. Sacha Baron Cohen plays time, like the personification or indeed the embodiment or indeed the actual concept
Who is in the books.
of time. And not only do they explore that, and even joke about that in all the ways you'd hope they would, beyond the obvious, like they actually work in some really clever shit in that. Not only is he a really interesting character, Sacha Baron Cohen actually does kind of a good job with his performance. Like, I'm not a big fan of his, but you know what? He brings his A-game to this, and it fucking works. And I actually ended up liking him a lot more than the main character, because he's trying to preserve the fabric of time and space, and fucking Alice is just wandering around in a fucking makeshift H.G. Wells machine, screwing things up.
I'd like to...
And as someone who has screwed up the space-time continuum before, I can tell you, no one looks good doing that.
I'd like to add to the record that the Pink song that came with this movie did better financially than the movie itself.
Well, it's Pink, you know.
It's a very good song.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. And it's not surprising because, do you want to know why all this shenanigans involving the space-time continuum happens? Because the Mad Hatter felt sad because he was reminded of the fact that his family was dead. I guess he forgot all this time. There's a difference between mad and stupid. I've said it before, I'll say it again, there is a fucking difference. And because he's so sad, it looks like he might die of depression. Sure, okay, why not? And because of that, that is worth potentially destroying this whole reality. No, it is not.
Not to mention it shoots any sort of emotional depth there was in the first film. Because, oh look, they're alive, and they're in an ant farm which the Queen of Hearts happens to own.
How the fuck did they survive in an ant farm?
Who knows? Wonderland, I wouldn't put it past them.
I don't know. And it just continues this weird trend in these two movies of just trying to normalize and de-wonderfy Wonderland. Like, it seems to be a pretty, like, functioning society now. Like, with shops and towns and, Like, the whole point of the original was that everyone was mad. Everyone was insane, to varying degrees and expressed in different ways, but everyone was mad. Here, some of them are mad, most of them are pretty fucking normal. Like, Rhys Ifans is in this movie, and you'd think Rhys Ifans would be the craziest one of them all, but no, he's completely normal. Why?
Yeah, I have no problem with if they want to give Wonderland characters some depth and something interesting. That's fine, but don't make Wonderland boring.
Yeah, and
or not mad.
Oh, and talking of madness, there's a scene where she goes back to the real world, ends up in a mental asylum, escapes from the mental asylum, and then goes straight back to Wonderland, and it's never brought up again.
Yeah, that's just every Alice thing has done that. Every modern, I mean, not like modern every modern like adaptation of Alice in Wonderland has tried to put Alice in the mental institution.
But they've done it better and devoted more time to it and made it sure it had actual consequences. Now this, where it just
sometimes not
sort of happens, goes away. Oh, well, maybe
sometimes they just do it terribly, like that one spin-off show of Once Upon a Time. That was awful.
that was a bit weird. Like, oh, Alice
that no one saw.
Alice is in love with a version of the genie, and then he quote unquote dies, and then she ends up in a lunatic asylum, and then the White Rabbit, where John Lithgow comes.
Yeah, that's right. It was like a weird mashup of Aladdin and like one of the main villains was Jafar. It was really weird.
And yeah, it's really weird because
Jafar was one of the main bad guys.
He's flying around the carpet.
Once Upon a Time in Wonderland.
And he is the Sultan's bastard, which is really weird.
I kind of want to watch that show now. That sounds weird.
It was very weird.
So then it turns out, oh, there's another Sultan, but this one isn't his dad, and this one's to avoid him and Jasmine being related.
Ew.
Stop it.
Ew. Like, that wasn't squicky enough in the original animated, real kid-friendly version there, Disney. But, God. Anyway. Alice in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass. Oh God, what else? Oh, we're talking about feminism before. Let's talk about it again. In one of the returning characters in this movie is the character who tried to propose to her in the first movie, and she rejected him, and now he is mad at her and decides to completely ruin her life. Bit of an overreaction, but all right. But also, like, he's got a new wife now, and she also hates her. Why? She didn't know her. She didn't. It seems like. Why is this random character that just hates Alice there for no reason? I don't get it.
Who knows? She's most unorthodox.
Nothing in this. If it were, it'd be more like the original. But no, she's orthodox and boring. Everything's boring. And you think after the backlash from the last movie, Mia would. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. I think ask Horatio Hornblower. But you'd think after the reaction to her acting, she would have done something different, made her a bit more emotional. No, she just wears slightly more zingy clothing. That's it.
I think she's just slightly more lively here, but not by much.
Oh my God, she expressed herself a semitone differently in that one scene. My God, full range of emotion. Never mind, forget it. No, it's crap. It's annoying, and made all the more so by the fact that there's just like one character in the whole movie that you can actually identify with and actually really like, and has all this depth and complexity. But it's not the fucking main character. It's not even the main bad guy. The evil queen is that again. The Red Queen, whatever her name is. God. And it flopped, as well it should. I don't know why. Moving on. Oh God. Okay, let's just do this. Let's just get through this. God. Here we go. Maleficent, go!
It's a good movie. Next.
I like it. Next.
I don't like it. Not next.
Next.
I think I had some good ideas, some really good ideas. It just kind of fell a bit flat.
Nope.
Angela Jolene is great.
Good movie. Next.
Next.
The end.
We're talking about this, Alex. You will have a chance to defend your views in front of the general public. So, Angelina Jolie is brilliant in this movie. She's perfectly cast for this character. I think it's really interesting. The problem is what kind of character is this?
Black and white character. Not black and white character. she's
Well, thank you for proving my point, Alex.
No, she's a morally great character.
Well, yeah, but how many morally grey characters can you think of that knowingly and willingly curse a child to die?
Not many, because she's
not very morally grey.
Yeah, but she also is a hero, which is what makes her morally grey. She does a terrible thing and tries to make up for it. It doesn't make up for it, but she tries to fix it and does. She does make
you can
undo the thing.
So you can be a slightly better person if you try and make up for a horrible thing, regardless of whether or not you actually succeed. Like, let's go into some the Good Place level of morality ethics here. Because, do intentions matter or do results matter?
Both.
Oh, wow.
Both actually, okay. Something terrible happened to her.
Yes. Objectively terrible.
Her target was to hurt someone by hurting someone else. That was not good, obviously. She missed her target. She should have attacked the king instead.
She didn't miss. She got her target. It's just that it was the wrong target for her to have.
She should have. She should have targeted the king.
Oh no! I accidentally cursed his baby instead of this full-grown man.
I'm not saying it was an accident. I'm saying that she was misguided. Through the course of the movie, her growth is her realizing that, hey, I fucked up. I need to not only write this, I need to push my anger in that direction, in the correct direction, and I need to save this girl from this thing that I did.
Which could have worked.
And
I just don't think the way they did that is good enough. Because here's the thing, the problem is, it doesn't feel like she was trying to be morally righteous but went about it the wrong way. It felt like she was being petty. I don't think that's a great look for Maleficent. I know her whole thing is you didn't invite me to this one event. Screw you, I curse your whole family.
She's the ultimate petty. That's the ultimate petty.
Yeah, but they didn't. Doing that in that context where she was completely and utterly villainous works. Doing this where she's meant to be morally grey doesn't. It makes her seem childish and juvenile. What if she meant to curse him, but so great was her anger, she accidentally cursed the child?
That just makes her, then she doesn't get any, then it's not her fault. Then she doesn't have any responsibility. It has to be her fault. It can't be an accident. It has to be her deliberately causing this issue. If it's an accident, if it's something that is his fault, if it's something that is collateral damage for something that she did, then her responsibility is then her effectiveness as a morally grey character is diminished because she no longer has this horrible thing that she's done. Then her effectiveness as a kid, then the whole number one thing that we know her as a villain is gone.
But we don't want her to be Disney didn't want her to be a villain in this. Morally grey, sure, yes, absolutely. But villainous, no, because if that was the case, she'd have been a villain by the end.
No. They started the movie with the same thing that when they get to they get to that part of the character arc, with the thing that we know her doing, of her cursing Aurora, and then we end the movie in a different place. We have to start where we're familiar and end with a new story. Otherwise, we're just the thing you've been complaining about this entire time. It's just the same movie. Like, then what's the point of remaking it? Like, it's not.
What's the point in remaking any of these? First of all, and second of all, you don't have to go through the exact same set of events. But here's the thing: what they did was they changed the motivation, but didn't follow through on the actions. The motivation originally was petty. Now the motivation is revenge, but she doesn't go through it in a revengey kind of way. Like, the same thing could happen. I'm not saying she can't curse the kid. That's fine. She can do that. Maybe in a burst of anger, she doesn't accidentally curse the kid, but deliberately curses the kid. But here's the thing. In this Disney's remake version, it seemed premeditated. She went into that room in that palace with the full intention of cursing a child that did nothing to her to hurt a guy who did something horrible to her.
And after something terrible happens to you, and when you isolate yourself and you've just been sitting there for like a year doing nothing but seething, that sounds rational.
Can I jump?
That sounds like a rational course of action. That sounds like
Does it? How do you rationalize I should hurt this person who's done nothing to me because of someone else?
Because you're traumatized.
When I think about my murder revenge plot, and indeed I do think about murder revenge all the time. I'm thinking about hurting the person who wronged me.
Because and they show this too in the movie. She's just totally isolated and alone, other than her raven friend that enables her revenge plot. Like, she is a.
Does he?
Yeah, he enables it. He's totally like, yes, ma'am, whatever. Like, she is alone in her rage and her trauma, and all she does is seethe in it. And when you are alone, when you're isolated, when this is all you are thinking about for like a whole year, because it's at least a year, because obviously he like gets married in that time and has a child. I'm not you're thinking about hurting someone by hurting someone they love, and that has and when that person they love has not hurt you, that seems rational.
Okay, first of all, I'm slightly worried about you now, Alex. I'm worried if I ever insult you or offend you in any way, you're gonna come after one of my family members. Dear God.
I'm not saying it is rational. I'm saying it seems rational. When you're that fucked up, like, and you're that hurt, and you're that like totally alone in despair, like you're that like totally messed up and alone, and you're just sitting in it and stewing in it for that long, you're gonna do something, like you're gonna lash out like that. That's like that is a like that's a natural reaction. And then she spends the next 16 years with this child, and she actually has to watch the child that she hurt,
make sure it doesn't die.
Yeah, she has to watch this child grow up and be like, oh fuck, oh no, I messed up, like that.
Yeah, but even then, that I think does work. But even then, they kind of mess it up. Like, she sees the baby, when it's in hiding, and just like, ugh, I hate you because you're a baby and I'm being all petty. And it's just like, why would she give a crap? I can understand her being ambivalent, like, oh, I don't give a shit about you. I don't give a crap about you. I only hate this one guy. Why would I hate you? You're a fucking baby. I'm better than you because I'm Maleficent, bitch. And then she starts to grow the attachment. But no, she acts weirdly juvenile, and it does not work. It's just, oh, I hate you, you stupid baby, and I hate you.
You really like she's doing the like, oh man, no, I super don't. You're not cute. No, you're not cute at all. Go away. And like, she really like, obviously this baby is adorable, and she's like, oh fuck, this baby's super cute. Damn it, I should. No. Like.
Which would have been more effective if she tried to appear indifferent, but secretly did start to form the connection. And say, oh, I think it's cute. Again, it's just a bit of follow-through from the initial point of motivation.
That's what the whole movie's about!
And the whole movie's crap! Like, it starts off great and then it ends up devolving! And we don't even get to see her as a fucking dragon! Don't look me in the voice and tell me that wasn't stupid!
Okay, you are, totally going off in a different direction from, like, what we were talking about. And, like, yes, no dragon, Maleficent, disappointing. That does not take away from the fact that, like, she, as a character, outside of the fact that she's become a dragon, is still very good. The movie is still very good. And just because you did not pay attention does not mean that the movie sucks.
I had paid attention, and what I saw did not please me. Like, it started off great, and then it's just sort of... If you're going to tell a different story, tell a different story. Don't start telling a different story and then tell the same story, but then I'm not telling the same story. God!
That's not how...
It's good ideas poorly executed. The ideas you're talking about do work, but they aren't working, like, in practice.
They absolutely do. You need to rewatch the movie, because you did not watch the same movie that is actually there.
I did! I did, and I was not happy! I'm all for a morally grey Maleficent. I'm all for that, but they don't do it well enough.
You can just say, like, I didn't like the movie. That's fine. You can't just say that, like, this happened and it just didn't. Like, you can't just, like, make stuff up about the movie. And
I've explained why it doesn't work.
It does work. You just, like...
No, it doesn't.
Children, that's enough.
I'm sorry, Daddy. Moving the fuck
thank God,
on.
That's right.
Oh, God. Mark, shut up. I own you. Now, before we go off the last one, I just want to do an honorable mention. Now, I wasn't sure if I should talk about this movie, but, I'm gonna talk about this movie. This isn't an honorable mention. We're just gonna fucking talk about this movie. I don't care. Mary Poppins Returns.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Mark?
It was alright. I thought it was alright.
Okay, so you haven't seen it and you think it's alright. What's that?
It's nowhere near as Mary Poppins, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm. I had relatively high hopes when I first saw it. I thought, like, oh, this could be pretty good. Emily Blunt's playing Mary Poppins. That's a perfect choice. This will be actually quite good. And then I saw the movie, and it sucks! It sucks!
I can probably guess why.
Why?
Because it's very... when I watch, like, this is like watching Christopher Robin. In a way, Christopher...
Just like all these crappy modern day cliches shoved in a movie that should be devoid of them.
It is essentially what they did with the Star Wars sequels. It's essentially a copy of the original film.
Not even that. I wouldn't even say. Oh God.
Is it because because it's got a bad guy when it didn't need a bad guy?
It's all these things and more. First of all, let's go down the list. You're absolutely right. It has a bad guy when it doesn't need a bad guy. Not just an antagonist, a bad guy. With no nuance. He's just like an evil, money-grubbing, ooh, I want the bank's house because I'm evil. No reason why. Money, money, money. And that's fucking it. And, oh God, and there's all these stupid cliches. And, oh God, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this. I'm not going to say it. I must say it. I don't want to, though. I shall. Emily Blunt does not act well in this movie. I'm sorry! She just doesn't do a good performance. I'm sorry.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
She overacts in this movie. Like, here's the thing. Someone says something.
Shut up. There's nothing wrong with her performance.
Someone says something mildly disconcerting to Mary Poppins in the original, and she goes, well, I would never condone such a thing. And in this movie, Emily Blunt goes, well, I never. Oh my word. It's so over the top. I'm exaggerating slightly, but not by much. Everything she says is every smile, every frown, every single line is just, it's too much. It's just way too much. I don't necessarily blame her for that because, like I said, she is a very good actor. She's one of the best actors working right now. I think it's probably just down to direction, but it's so over the top to the point where it just kind of made me laugh. And I shouldn't really be laughing at Mary Poppins. I don't want to laugh at Mary Poppins. I'll get in trouble. And
your British card will be taken.
It's true. I'll have to become French. Oh God. And it's especially annoying because in the songs, except for that one song, it's actually really good. She's brilliant. I love the way she sings, and I love the musical numbers, and they fit her, and it feels like Mary Poppins when she sings. When she sings, it's brilliant. Except for that one song where she's clearly doing something inspired by Chicago, which was directed by the same guy who did this movie. So, and it's just, she starts doing a weird Cockney accent whilst wearing a bowler hat.
Turned down being in this movie to be in Aquaman.
What's that?
Julie Andrews turned down being in this movie to be an Aquaman.
Oh yes, that's brilliant. She was offered a cameo, but she turned it down because, and this is the best reason to turn down being in Mary Poppins, she felt like, because she's gone to the age now where her voice just isn't good enough anymore, and she says...
She's had a lot of surgery on her throat.
She's had a lot of throat surgery, she's getting a bit older, and so she said, like, I would be in Mary Poppins if I could sing, but I can't sing, so I'm not going to be, and I respect the hell out of her for that. So she goes and decides to be a fucking kaiju in Aquaman, and that movie did better than this one.
Did it?
I think
God.
So. Let's double check that. Google search.
Yeah, I feel like Mary Poppins maybe did better.
I feel like I thought it was in theaters longer.
Well, it's the box office returns. Aquaman earned about 15 billion US dollars.
Wow. Only 349 mil. US.
Oh.
And that's worldwide.
Oh, dearie me. So yeah, Aquaman with Julie Andrews beat Mary Poppins without Julie Andrews. That is saying something.
It's the power of Julie Andrews.
Just stick her in a movie. That's why we had 2 fucking Princess Stars movies. It's not Anne Hathaway, it was Julie Andrews.
And maybe 3.
What?
We might get 3.
We're getting a 3rd one? Nope. No. I don't need another.
Anne Hathaway has talked about it.
I'm sure she has. Maybe they could...
And ironically, those films did quite well promoting feminism and LGBTs.
Yeah.
So you go.
One film at a time. Back to Mary Poppins Returns. Another problem with this is it's oddly enough, it's filmed like a stage show, like a Broadway musical, which I know Mary Poppins has been for quite a while now, but it's not a stage show, it's a fucking movie. Filming like a fucking movie. It's like they just keep on going on to sound stages to do all these musical numbers. And
oh yeah, Little Light Fantastics looked like it was on a
so
stage.
Static and boring. And it's not just the musical numbers, it's a lot of scenes actually. It just feels so staged and so static and so boring and cramped and just like, let's explore London or let's stay in this one room. Let's do that. The kids are fucking boring as well. I hate them. Like it's oh god. What? First of all, 3 is too many. 2 boring kids is bad enough. 3, dear God, I'm getting overwhelmed with the lack of charisma. And I don't blame the kids for this. I want to point out, I blame the people who put them in the movie. And they're sad because, shock of all shock, they got a dead parent. What is Disney's obsession with killing people who bring life into the world? Well, if you get if you help fertilize one fucking ovum in any of these movies, you're dead. Mickey Mouse take him out with a sniper rifle.
Well, I think culturally speaking, it comes from from Bambi, but before then, a lot of people don't know is that Walt Disney's mother died from a dodgy furnace. So
Walt Disney died in the 1960s. What's their excuse after that?
I don't know. I just think it became a film tradition.
God, and it's just like we're past the point where I'd say, well, it's fine because it ties into the character's development, because they have done that before so many times, and they've done it where it doesn't tie into the character development so many times. Not even Bambi, even Bambi, it didn't tie up into the character development. He was sad about it for less than 5 minutes, and then the scene was over.
They needed a goddamn fantastic sequel direct-to-video to do that.
Oh yeah, they had to develop it further in a fucking midquel made in the mid-2000s.
Which was actually pretty good, in my opinion.
Mainly because they had Patrick Stewart, but one film at a time!
Stop doing one
And, and I could live with all of that. I wouldn't like it, but I could live with all of that if 99% of this movie was not just discussions about fucking finances. Oh, so you need to pay the mortgage. Oh, well, I had stocks in the bank, that should pay the mortgage. Oh, but we can't find the stuff of anticipation to make sure you have the bank in the movies. Fucking hell, the Phantom Menace, with all of its legal trade talk, is looking down on you. The Phantom fucking Menace!
This film is not good.
It's just...
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
And I nearly forgot. It ends on a massive fucking chase to beat the deadline to save the house. Oh joy, that's what was missing from Mary Poppins all these years.
Two chase scenes.
And in order to do that, a chase scene, in order to do that, they have to summon all these lamplighters to stop Big Ben from ringing to further extend the deadline. Pretty sure that's not legal, but fine. On multiple occasions. And all these lamplighters and Lin-Manuel Miranda, who is, in fairness, quite good in the movie, you know, tolerable at least, struggling, nearly falling down, desperately trying to get up Big Ben. And it's just like, guys, you know there's a staircase inside the clock tower. You know that, right? Like, you could have just gone in there. Like, it's a time when there wasn't a lot of security. I feel like you could have gotten in there and stopped it from inside the mechanism. And B, they struggle and nearly fall, desperately trying to stop it from ringing. And then, at the end of it all, when they're almost not going to get it, Mary Poppins just casually floats up there and does it herself. Why the fuck did you not do that right from the beginning? Lin-Manuel Miranda nearly died! You callous bitch! I don't like this movie.
Dick Van Dyke's in it, though, so that's good.
Oh yeah, Dick Van Dyke swans in at the last minute to completely absolve Colin Firth of any power and authority. Comes up with pulls a solve the problem plot point out from his ass, and then does an impressive dance for a man of his age. And it's just like, okay, well, you know what? In fairness, I have completely forgotten all the reasons I hate this movie just by watching Dick Van Dyke dance. That is a real credit, not to this movie, but to Dick Van Dyke. That was for him. This movie can go suck it. Dick Van Dyke is awesome. This movie can suck it. Moving on. Any last things you want to say about this movie?
That there was 2D animation in a Disney film, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Yeah, and I got quite.
It's been a while.
Then I found out they got sad because apparently they had to start from the animators, because they had been doing CGI for all this time. They had to reteach themselves how to do this, and that made me like, it's like they had to bring
Oh my god! The makers of Klaus need to show us the way.
Figure out how to make the thing that made Disney a household name to begin with. Exactly.
Fucking hell. Okay, so we've been for quite a ride on this little, this fourth excursion into the dirty Disney dozen, haven't we, guys? So I think it's only fair that we end this with something just to relax us a little bit. It's not a good movie, obviously, but something that's not going to make us too angry. Oh, shit, it's The Lion King. Shit. shit, fuck, ass, cunt, bastarding hack, horse, wanking, shit, fuck, no! No! No to all of this! No! I spit on you, Lion King! I fuck your mother! No! No! I shit on your open mouth, you complete and utter backwash of a movie! Hate you! Hate you! Oh God, I burst a blood vessel in my brain! What are your guys' thoughts?
Bad movie.
Yeah, bad movie. Yeah. A succinct summation of this movie. No. Okay, so why do we think this movie is bad?
Why? Because, regardless of, opinions aside, I do believe Lion King is, like, the greatest animated film of all time, and they somehow made it boring and lifeless and empty, CGI'd while looking impressive, robs the animals of their emotions.
Oh my God, I owe Mia fucking what's-her-face an apology. Apparently, when she decided to portray no emotion in two movies, the makers of this movie thought, well, we can do one better. We'll keep the voice emotion, but we'll remove all face emotion by making them just look like fucking normal animals that can't express emotions on their face.
It's a bad movie.
What is the runtime on this? What is the runtime? 118 minutes? It felt like an eternity. And it's still somehow longer than the original movie. Oh, so you think they'd add a bunch more scenes in it? Well, they add one or two, but mainly they cut out scenes from the original and shorten the scenes that do exist. So somehow this movie is longer than the original, but has less in it. How? How the fuck do you do that?
Poop.
Oh, yeah, there's a scene about poo, isn't there?
Yes.
The fact that the third act comes along via poo is hilarious and also aggravating.
Oh, let's watch the magnificent journey of a piece of dung. Remember the original where Rafiki discovered that Simba was alive by finding his hair carried off on the winds like some sort of magical messenger from across the plains of the savannah? No. We need to show that it ends up in shit, in literal shit. And let's see the grand adventure of Sir Dumpington, the dung ball that makes its way across all of Africa. Oh, the things that piece of shit will see!
I find it hilarious that someone got paid to write that in a script and storyboard and animate it. Someone got animated to do that, didn't he?
I did. And yeah, the animals look like fucking animals. Okay, cool. That makes it a CGI live-action remake, not a live-action remake. And, oh my God. And so if you're going to do CGI, like, you could use CGI in its all its grand form to enhance or even just show the African savannah in all its glory. Remember how epic the sunrise was at the very beginning of The Lion King? This light just sort of, it's like the Big Bang. It's like the face of God, just like, na Savannah. And it fills up the entire screen like pure fire, like a huge raging ball of life and light rising from the darkness. And here, Savannah, as a small little sun traverses. Like, if you do Google image search for African sunrise, Google will give you 50 million much more spectacular images than this movie gave us. Do you not think that maybe that iconic beginning should be, also similarly epic in this version? Did you not think that? I'm sure you did, Jon Favreau. Wow, you're a good director. You're really good at what you do. Why is this movie not good? I don't know, because this movie is a suction machine. It sucks not air, not water, but talent and time. It took time away from him and every other talented person who worked in this movie, and they are so goddamn talented, but they took their time away from them and then away from us so they could hoard it for themselves. They're time thieves! Time and talent thieves like the little aliens from Space Jam! Ugh. Because of this, Jon Favreau couldn't direct any episodes of The Mandalorian. We were denied him, and don't get me wrong, The Mandalorian turned out great. I'm very happy with it, so, fine, fair enough. But still! And, oh god, they can't even get the most basic things right. So we all know the song and the scene from the original, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And we all remember that scene, it starts off with Timon and Pumbaa, then Nala and Simba get reacquainted and dance together, and she gives Simba at one point fuck me eyes. We all remember it. Then we have this movie where they just sort of walk around a little bit, and it doesn't even take place at nighttime. Can you feel the love today? I guess it's like 11 in the morning? Yeah, it looks around that time. Yeah, it's a pretty nice time of day, It's not too cold, it's not too warm. I'm good, I'm a nice temperature. Oh, the epicness! Fucking hell! Oh, God, you could tell. The voice actors, all of them. Donald Glover, Seth Rogen, Billy Eichner, John Oliver, Beyonce, fucking Beyonce are trying their hardest, but it's just not good enough. Hey, remember that scene after the elephant graveyard and all of that, where Simba and Mufasa have a big talk, and it's kind of big and epic? Remember how daunting that was, but also how emotional it was, and how you actually learnt a lot about both of these characters? Well, fucking hell, let's strip that down to its bare essentials. There's a big lion, there's a small lion, they talk, that's it.
Remember how awesome Be Prepared is and how it's one of the greatest villain songs of all time? What if it's just Scar just having a chat? What if it's Scar just chatting it up with the hyenas, and then at one point he'll just sing the words "Be Prepared," and then that's it.
With all the enthusiasm of a scoutmaster addressing a bunch of 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
Just hey guys, be prepared, or don't. I don't care. And oh god, and the only two things in this movie that are even somewhat different in a good way is fucking Timon and Pumbaa of all things, and only because they occasionally add a line that you would only find funny if you saw the original. If you're a young kid and this is your first time seeing anything Lion King related, you wouldn't get it at all. Everyone's laughing when he says, oh, he said the farted line, and you're just like, what? Well, I'm 5 years old, so I find that funny because, 5 years old. But,
why didn't you stop me? Because Pumbaa's like, why didn't you stop me? And Timon's like, why would I stop you?
The movie... It's like the movie pauses, turns itself towards and goes wink, and then goes back to the movie. Oh, thanks for stopping this movie dead for a reference to something that most of us will get, but is still really distracting, and the rest of us won't get, and is distracting. You fucking genital wart on the face of cinema. And don't ask me how a genital wart could end up on the face of cinema. Because it's somehow you manage it. Somehow you traverse that genital wart all the way up from the ball sack, up the body, to the face. Not even some inconspicuous area of the face. Right in the center, on the forehead, right there. Big pulsating genital wart going hate me, hate me. Oh, what else? Oh, yeah. So, I'm not a big fan of the original Lion King because I think it's racist. Shut up, I'm right. But the problems I have with that are exacerbated even further in this movie because the original, it's just so the hyenas, we keep them outside of our clean and pristine pride lands because they don't belong here. They are the outsider. Oh, well, I'm the bad guy. I want to bring the hyenas into this thing. Oh, you can't do that. They'll use up all our resources. they can bring them in. Oh, they use up all the resources. Remember, kids, outsiders bad. Don't let people into the place where you live. Ugh, fucking hate it. And they make it even worse in this movie by have the hyenas objectively stating like, oh yes, a hyena's belly is never full. Oh my god, you're actually stating the fact that these guys not only have no self-control, but revel in the fact they have no self-control, and is just there to use up all the resources of our clean and pristine land. Fucking hell, if you had an opportunity to remove the xenophobic aspects, and not only did you not do it, you made them fucking worse! You basically had them confirmed as social parasites! Fuck you! Fuck you! You racist piece of shit! My voice is going!
We have been doing this for 2 hours.
This movie is a fucking insult to me as someone who just likes cinema, to you guys as Disney fans, especially you, Mark.
Yeah, Disney fans a stretch for me.
It's an insult to Mark as a fan of the original, as much as I disagree with him on that one. I don't think he deserves to be insulted for it.
This film, as we've discussed previously, put me off seeing any more of the live-action movies until for a while.
It broke him. It broke Mark, the #1 Disney fan. It did what Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin could not. It broke him. It broke me. And I don't even like Disney. It broke me. I mean,
let me say.
What's that?
Before you kick off again, can I say something?
Please.
Which I hope you will agree with me with me. If Disney want to remake their films, they need to put some goddamn effort into it.
Well, I think that goes without saying. Yes.
Don't just make these movies based on because it's a Disney brand. They're really popular movies. Oh, they're making $1 billion, but at least put some effort into them. They've done it a couple of times with.
Do what The Invisible Man did.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really good movie.
Exactly.
You mean The Invisible Woman?
Yeah, The Invisible Man.
No, the new Invisible Man.
There's an Invisible... Oh, yeah, there's... Oh, sorry, no, it is The Invisible Man. For some reason, I confuse it with calling it The Invisible Woman. No, it's The Invisible Man. Yes, you're right.
That. They've done it a couple of times with Maleficent and Pete's Dragon. That's about it. Everything else has just been made because it's a familiar icon from the Disney archive, and put some effort into it. Do something unique with it. Do something original. Change the story. Don't just like you said with the Jungle Book. Don't just try something new and then jump back at halfway because you need to put all the familiar stuff in. Do some effort, man. Effort. That's what Walt Disney always emphasized when he was around. Put effort into what you create. Carry on.
And you know what? Yeah, he did. I don't like the things he put effort into.
Racism.
Don't start that.
Oh, if you're going to be bigoted, make sure you give it your all. Don't be slightly bigoted. Be full-blown bigoted.
Oh, don't start that again. Don't start. I'm going to explode you someday if you keep bringing that up.
And so, on that note, that's where we're going to end. We've done 13 of the... Wait. No, we haven't. We've only done 12. There's one left. Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, God.
Should we just skip that?
Tired. Yeah. My dog.
Yeah, let's skip that. Let's be
looks
honest,
like
none
Lady.
of us saw it. So.
Yeah, my dog looks like Lady, and that's it. That's the only thing I can say about it.
There, you got your own Lady and the Tramp. That's brilliant. And so, on that note, that's how we have to end. We have to end on a point of pure indifference, because these movies they just grind you down. Even the most, whether you're a dedicated Disney hater or a Disney lover, these movies just grind you down. And we, the film-going public, need to demand better, because if we don't go and see them, they're going to stop making them. Because this is what Disney does. They find a niche, they find the most popular trend at the time, and they exploit the hell out of it. And if you don't like that trend, don't engage with it. Do not engage with it, and they will find something else. And maybe the next trend will be better, maybe worse, I don't know. Just vote with your goddamn wallet. Because if you go and see these movies just because it's Disney, then they will give you exactly what you asked for, which is to say, fucking nothing. The bare minimum at most. And we deserve better. Because Disney can do better. I've never not said it. Disney can do better. There have been points in even now, today, talking about these movies, where I've pointed out stuff that, even if I don't like it, I think it actually is quite good. But they'll never give us anything we don't ask for. If we ask for something good, they'll give it to us. If we don't engage with something that we know is bad, they won't give it to us. So it's up to us, because they're never going to change unless we make them. You see... Thank God, but you guys, now you see things like I do. If Disney remakes were an emoji, they'd be poo. It's taken time, had quite a few fights, but you're no longer dazzled by Disney's lights. Fucking finally, it's been years. At last you have both come to your senses. Disney will not get past your mind's defenses. No longer blind, you finally get it. You see, they're greedy, making shit. Disney remakes are so bad, jumping on every damn passing fad. It's gotten so bad, even you guys agree. Worse than that movie where Seinfeld is a bee. Disney remakes insult us to the point where they make Mark curse. They are pathetic, completely devoid of wit. Disney remakes, fucking remakes, are so shit.
Well, this is a fine mess, Mark. Got convinced as these movies blow.
Still, we don't agree with everything.
Like his thoughts about Go-Go.
Disney is stupid and awful and putrid, and these movies prove that to all. Just recall, Disney remakes are a con. I can't wait for the day when they're gone. People are waking up to this awful trek and watching those films with the ogre named Shrek. Disney remakes aren't worth it. Makes me glad that Bob Iger has quit. So please vote with your wallets. Give Disney a slap. Disney remakes, fucking remakes, are so crap.
What the hell do we do now? We know Disney is slapdash.
We ignore Scott because you see, it's just these remakes that are trash. It's just these remakes that are trash.
I think I have made my point. On that note, I'm going to end the show. Thank you very much, Mark and Alex, for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, us.
And if you enjoy the show,
Go watch Operation Dumbo Drop. No, go watch Operation Dumbo Drop.
Indeed, that's our recommendation for the week. Go watch Operation Dumbo Drop. But if
And
you
Mamma
enjoy
Mia.
No!
No! Never!
No!
But if you enjoy the show, Capers, please tell your friends, shout it from the rooftops! And if you haven't already, go back and listen to some of our other super episodes, like our previous 3 Dirty Disney Dozen episodes. And you can listen to the show on iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, Spotify, or at podcapers.com. If you want to get in touch with us, suggest show topics, or maybe come on the show yourself, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at AB2HYC. Thank you very much to Dan Harris for our logo, the lovely microphone, the red and blue 3D glasses, those are mine. And thank you for listening. This has been Podcapers, the official podcast of a place to hang your cape. Cue the music!